talk some energy.
Yes.
Energy bills are becoming more expensive, and they're not getting cheaper, at least not anytime soon.
Joining us now is Charles Hua, the founder and executive director of PowerLines. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
We actually, you're on loan to us here in LA because you're usually on the East Coast, so thank you. And can you talk about what's contributing to the rising prices that we're seeing?
Sure. Well, normally electricity price is not a Monday morning topic, but it's become one because
it's expensive.
It's expensive. And across the country, electricity prices have risen roughly 30% since 2021. Gas prices have risen 40% since 2019. And there's a lot of reasons why this is happening. It's not just one thing. But if it were one thing, it'd be a couple things. One is in California especially, wildfires and extreme weather events are causing a lot of damage to the grid, and it costs a lot of money to replace that infrastructure. And relatedly, the poles and wires, the things that you don't love to think about or look at that make sure that your lights stay on, that's getting more expensive.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about, who sets electricity prices in California and why this actually could be a problem.
Yeah, well, this is a great point because very few people know that there's actual human beings, sometimes in California's situation, as few as 5 that set their electricity prices. So if you're a customer here of Southern California Edison, then your electric prices are actually determined by what's called the California Public Utilities Commission. This is a 5-person body that basically approves any rate increases. So anytime your utility company wants to charge you more, that has to get approved by the Public Utilities Commission. For the LADWP customers, that's a little bit different of a setup. That's where the Los Angeles City Council has more of an influence. But the bottom line is there are real human beings that actually set your prices.
Is there anything people can do, particularly to save money, but also can they go to these boards and petition and say, don't raise the rate?
I think that's the missing piece. Certainly at an individual level, you can use energy more efficiently, turn off the lights when you don't want to use them. In California, there's also what's called time of use rate. So if you use your electricity at cheaper times during the day when, it's not like everybody else is turning on their electricity, you can actually save money. But to your point, there's broader structural reforms that are needed. The situation in California is actually quite severe, and the situation across the country is quite severe around electricity. And it's important that governors, state legislators, the public utilities commissioners across the country hear from you as the consumer so that they understand how these price increases are impacting your pocketbooks.
Yeah, something we all feel for sure. Talking a little bit about what structural policies or solutions do you think could actually help reduce energy costs for us in the future? Because obviously it sounds like some changes need to be made.
So I think every state needs to have a utility affordability action plan. We at PowerLines, what we want to see is more action from all of these different policymakers and regulators on this issue. In 2026 in California, of course, there's a governor's race. The governor is who actually appoints these public utility commissioners. So it's important that all of those candidates, whoever becomes that governor, actually has a approach that's centered around consumers so that we manage this energy price issue accordingly.
Quickly, before we let you go, are we headed toward a crisis? Because you look at things like AI, it's going to use a lot more electricity. So you're talking about things that have happened to the grids and that kind of thing that we're paying for, but aren't we going to be paying even more as we move forward with some of these new technologies?
Well, the reality is it's likely that we are going to enter this serious affordability crisis that was already severe, but that's not fate. We actually have an opportunity if we make our voices heard as consumers in front of the Public Utilities Commission. And you can learn more. We have different resources and tools for folks on our website at powerlines.org for folks to be able to learn how they can get engaged. But there are solutions that people can be part of to advance this issue.
All right. Well, Charles, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
It's not the most interesting topic sometimes, but it impacts people big time in their wallets.
It impacts our wallets, that's for sure. All right, thank you.